So many leaders think that they have an inconsistency problem. That's where the struggles are. Some days they're on, some days they're off. Some people just don't bring it every day. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your team isn't inconsistent. Your standards are inconsistent. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. And if you're a leader who's tired of repeating yourself, you're just tired of agreement without execution, and you're tired of carrying the emotional weight of everyone else's performance, you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation. This isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena at work and at home. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. You're in the war room now, so let's get after it. Let's talk about what's really happening. It's something I call mood-dependent excellence, and it doesn't start with your people. It starts with what you tolerate. Here's the pattern almost every leader falls into. A standard gets set, then someone has a rough work week. The market, it starts to tighten. Pressure increases, emotions run hot, and without saying it out loud, the standard quietly gets adjusted. Not officially, not intentionally, just practically. I call this the bigger pants problem. You see, you don't lose discipline, you just go buy bigger pants. Then you're comfortable. Everything's okay. 34 turns into a 36. A size 36 turns into a size 38. See, you didn't fail, you just adapted. You just made the comfort zone easier. And leaders do the same thing. We lower expectations in order to stay comfortable. We explain instead of reinforce. We tolerate instead of train. And then we act surprised when performance becomes inconsistent. Here's the key truth. People don't rise and fall with their mood. They rise and fall with the level of clarity and consistency they have around them. When standards wobble, behavior wobbles. When behavior wobbles, results wobble. And leaders misdiagnose the problem. They think, oh, it's a motivation issue or it's a commitment problem. It's their attitude. When the real issue is drift. And let me be very clear. Mood-dependent excellence is not a character flaw. It's a leadership environment problem. Inconsistent standards create inconsistent behavior, even among good people. And here's the hard part. Leaders often create inconsistency while trying to be kind. We give grace without guardrails. We empathize without clarity. We avoid discomfort instead of building capability. And in the process, we accidentally teach our people, hey, the standard depends on how we feel today. That's not leadership. That's emotional outsourcing. Elite leaders understand something very different. Standards are not punishments. They're anchors to performance. See, people don't resent standards. What they resent is unfairness and unpredictability. Consistency does not come from intensity. It comes from stability. Not yelling louder, not motivational speeches, just calm, repeatable leadership that your people can trust. A quick pause. If this episode is naming something you felt but maybe never articulated, I invite you to hit like and subscribe. This channel exists to help leaders replace frustration with skill. And I don't want you to miss the rest of the week. So let's make this really practical and dive in. Here's today's one execution move, and I call it the standards audit. Ask yourself 3 questions and do this honestly. Number 1, where have I lowered a standard to stay comfortable? 2, what behavior do I tolerate on hard days that I wouldn't do it on a good day? And 3, what standard would stabilize performance if I reinforced it calmly and consistency? Don't fix everything. Pick one, because clarity beats volume every time. And if you're thinking, Chris, I see this, but I default under pressure like everybody else. That's exactly why I built support for execution. If you want help reinforcing standards without becoming harsh or reactive, then please text the word standards to the number you see on the screen, and you'll get instant access to our AI execution assistant. And it's built to help you hold your standards calmly, to correct drift early on, and to lead consistently, even on hard days. So just text standards to the number you see on the screen. If you could, help me out and drop in the comments. Where have you lowered a standard in order to stay comfortable? Just name it, because awareness is the first rep. Tomorrow, we're going after a sacred cow. Why training isn't the answer, and why deep down, I think you already know that. This week is about breaking mood-dependent excellence, and we're going to spend all week on getting you out of that most dangerous trap. So for today, go out, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.